grab your usual items for your comfort and challenge abilities. Okay, so maybe a small ball, rolled up towel, yoga block, something like that that you could hold or squeeze, and also a blanket or maybe something cushioned for your knees if we need that for the knees, or under the tailbone. Okay, maybe even under the hips. Always have those things available. It's nice to be able to just reach over and grab what you need. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to roll back first. So starting in a reclining position, I want you to just start to work a little bit on connection and breath. So from here, I'm just placing one hand right across the rib cage, so just to one side, and then taking the other hand and placing it down toward the belly. So I want you to breathe more into the hand that's on the ribs. So at first you may find that the ribs kind of open and splay just a little bit toward the sky. And then I want you to start to see if you can control that breath a little bit more and direct it into the side waist and around the rib cage. So if you'll take your thumb and index finger, and if you can wrap that around the rib cage, if that's uncomfortable for your shoulder or something, just place the hand there. But if you can wrap it kind of around the side here, and feel yourself breathing into that. And you can do it with the other hand too. So thumb and index can wrap around right there. Now again, if that's just too much, because the shoulders sometimes will pop forward, then go ahead and you can maybe crisscross or just feel it with your hands, the palms of your hands. So I want you to breathe into the side here. Get really wide, and then exhale, just kind of gently blow out the breath. Feel the ribs moving back into center, and your waist gets smaller. So inhale, feel yourself get wider across. The chest and shoulders stay relaxed. Exhale it out. So I want you to also feel that moving into the middle and low back behind you. Feel an expansion that happens and the shoulders are relaxed, the chest stays soft. Exhale it out. Let's do about 3 more this way. And every time you exhale, I want you to exhale out as long as you can until there's no breath left. You feel there at that very end when you're squeezing that last drop of breath out, how much your abs engage and how much the transverse abdominals engage. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so again, deep breath. Exhale out. One more right there. Okay, so keeping your shoulders back still, the ribs drawn down. So if you place a hand right across the center here where the ribs kind of move away from one another, feel right there, and notice if there's a little bit of kind of lifting up of that those 2 little arcs of where the ribs are. And I want you to pull them down away from your hand. So take a moment, really set that in. So you feel that there's a little more abdominal engagement rather than those ribs just flying open. Okay, so then also with your pelvic bones and hips, I want you to just take the thumbs toward each other and then your index and second finger toward each other as you make a little triangle. Okay, just placing the base of your palms right across where the little ASIS or the little spot there at the ridge or crest of your hips. I want you to take your palms right there, take the other fingers, point them down toward the tip of the pubic bone, and just see if you can feel around and find the pubic bone. And we want the tip of that pubic bone, the tip that's furthest away from you, to be the same level as your hip points. Okay, so you stay there. I'll stand up. So right here, just so that you know where we're going. And I want you to feel the pubic bone down here. So you can stay right there on the mat. Okay, but I want you to feel how if you drop your tail down a bit, how that pubic bone drops down and the hip points rise up. Okay, that's going to be a little anterior tilt. Okay, I want you to now draw your tail under a bit and notice how the pubic bone lifts up and the hip points go down. So posterior tilt. So So I want you to find the place that's in between where those two are really even and level. That's the place we're working. We're not trying to tuck or scoop down too deep. We do scoop the belly, but we're not scooping into the tailbone. So I want you to stay right there, okay, with a deep breath in, shoulders drawn back, ribs pulled down. Okay, breathe into back body. Exhale, blow it out. Feel the muscles between the hip points kind of pulling toward each other. Start to float your shoulders. I'm not asking you to curl up. I'm just asking you to float your shoulders. That's it. Okay, bring it back down. So when you float your shoulders, if you feel yourself pushing into your belly, I want you to try to reverse that. So pull in with the belly. Okay, so deep breath in. Keep that level space right there in your triangle, your pelvic triangle. Exhale it out. Start to float your shoulders as you keep your core embraced. Bring it back down. You're just gazing at the ceiling. I'm not asking you to lift your head. Your head will come up because it's attached. All right, I just want you to think about floating your shoulders. So inhale. Ribs are down, pelvis level. Exhale out. Float up. Shoulders back. And lower back down. Now we're going to continue with that same movement. You can take a ball or block between the inner thighs to add on. So this will help to stabilize even more here. Okay, so deep breath. Ribs pulled in. You're expanding out to the sides. Exhale. Float the shoulders. Bring it back down. Now continue here. I want you to squeeze that ball. Once again, this is never your head just lifting, so I'm not nodding my head. Okay, shoulders, ears in line. It's your core that's engaged, and that will support your neck. All right, so let's try that again. And I want you this time to reach your hands toward the end of the mat when you come up. So deep breath in. Exhale, feel the engagement first. Start to float the shoulders. Just reach your hands toward the end of the mat. You don't have to look at them. Okay. Bring it back down. Inhale here. You can place hands across if you like. Keep the ribs drawn down. Exhale, floating up. Bring it back down. Inhale on the way down. Exhale. Squeeze the ball. Your line of vision may start to change. If your shoulders start to float up higher, your line of vision can go from straight up to the ceiling to somewhere across the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Lower back down. I want you to do 2 more this way. You're going to exhale every last drop of breath out with those shoulders lifted. So deep breath to prepare. Exhale. Bring it down. Inhale. Exhale, floating up. Every last drop of breath is out. And lower back down. We'll keep the head on the mat. Just remove the ball for a moment. Draw knees up, give them a hug, and rock it side to side. So continuing to always work on that foundation of stability. So we're going to continue there with that center focus. So I want you to keep your feet lifted. So knees just right over hips, heels in line with your knees, like a little tabletop with your shins. Your hands can come back either by your sides, kind of reaching out to the sides, or sometimes I like to just place them kind of right across the forehead. That helps to open up my chest, and then I can also work on pulling those ribs down at the same time as I'm pulling back with the elbows. Okay, so keep everything active. We're going to inhale, dropping just the left leg down, just moving from the hip, dropping down. Exhale, bring it up. So your thigh moves away from your body, ribs stay down, pelvis level. Right side, hinging from the hip, drop the foot down and come back up. So if I were to look over and see you now, are you just bending your knee and tapping the floor? I want you to move your thigh. it falls away with gravity and pull it back up. All right, so that's the pull you're working against. Inhale, as that leg goes lower and further away from you, the more you've got to stabilize. Inhale, lowering down, exhale up. Inhale, lowering down, exhale up. I want you to engage the upper back, but pull the ribs down. Inhale, exhale. Last 4, 3, let the leg fall away. Keep the hips level. 2, and 1. Now you're going to reach over, take that ball again. We're going to take the arms straight up. Now, I just want you to take the ball, though, in the right hand. The only hand that's moving, only arm that's moving is the one with the ball in it. Okay, so take it in your right hand, and we're going to drop the left leg, and right arm goes overhead. So the one with the ball. Okay, we'll set up your core. Inhale, opposite arm and leg. Right arm goes overhead, left leg drops, and move it back to center. Stay there. Inhale, reach, exhale up. Stabilizing, inhale, exhale. 3 more, reach, bring it in. 2, good, last one. And switch sides. So left hand has the ball, right leg moves away. Reset the core. Inhale, reach, exhale back to center. Now as you reach away from the center, that's when we're working in that eccentric contraction. So that means that whenever everything would normally try to lengthen out, so normally we might kind of arch the back and the front of the body would arc and you would get more stretch through your abdominals. We're working against that. So this is why it's an eccentric contraction. So we're not asking our body to move into flexion through the core, but we're asking it to stabilize, which is really what it is designed to do mostly, but we don't utilize that very much. Okay? Inhale, we let all these other muscles take over and then they get cranky. All right, let's go 2 more. Inhale, slow. Reach. Exhale. 1. Good job. Back to center and rest. I want you to take the legs out, arms overhead, stretch it out. So we had those hips flexed for quite a while. The hip flexors are working, but you notice if you start to burn in your hip flexors, you might be letting your hip flexors do more of the work than your core. That's why those hip flexors burn out and why our low back also hurts, okay, a lot of the time. Because our core, our deep core is not doing the job that it was designed to do. Okay, we haven't recruited it. So I want you to come back into center space. Now we're going to take the legs back up. So let's start here. Just taking one leg at a time, draw it towards you. We'll drop the left foot for a moment. So I want you to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit. Just holding wherever you can. We're going to hold on now behind the knee and then just bend the knee and straighten. So try to keep the knee drawn in towards you pretty close. We're just getting it kind of loosened up. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last one. And come back to center. So I want you to keep that knee bent, arms out by your sides, palms can be down or up. And you're going to float the knee over to the right side and then back to center. So we're stabilizing on the left. Keep that foot planted. Draw the ribs in, core solid. Counter by engaging the obliques, the side waist muscles, as you let the knee open out to the side without rocking. And back to center. We'll do 2 more this way. So knee can be quite a bit bent or just, softly bent. You could even start to straighten that leg out more if it's something that feels okay for you. That's going to take your load. You're going to have more load over there, that lever being longer. Okay, now bring it back down. Other side, we'll hold on behind the leg, bend and straighten a few times. See if you can pull those toes up towards your head when you straighten the leg out. Just a couple more. Relax the shoulders. We're going to hold it right here, slightly bent knee, or it can be 90 degrees. It's about even with your hip. Arms out, inhale, open it out to the left, move your right foot over a little to the right, and back to center. So I'm trying to avoid rocking onto this left hip. Okay, just opening up and bring it back in. So just a few more like this. I want you to keep that right side super steady. Plant that foot, knee is steady, core engaged so you're not rolling to the side. So you're abducting and then adducting, bringing it out, away from you, abducting. Adduct, squeeze, those inner thighs have got to work to pull that leg back in. We take one more, inhale, exhale, back to center. Okay, take the foot down, arms by your sides. Your feet are about hip distance and ready for a bridge position. You to lift up and then lower it back down. So arms are just resting by your side. You're kind of drawing your shoulders back, but you're not allowing yourself to push them down real hard. I just want you to pull them back a bit. Press into the back of your head and into the back of your shoulder line, across the top of the shoulders, down your arms. Inhale, press through your big toe, little toe, and heel. Bring it down. We'll take 2 more bridges. Pull those ribs in, lift everything up. Notice again, you're still level with your pelvis here, so you can always check that when you get to the top. Okay, so if you get to the top here, take a moment and pause and check your hips. Is your tail dropping down and your pelvis moving away from you? Are you rounding too much in that low back and your hips are pelvic bone lifting up? And I want you to levelize it, okay? And that's where you're going to be. Right, bring it back down. And rest for just a moment. You can let the knees sway side to side. So from here, we're going to go back into that little bridge lift. Okay, feet still parallel. I want you to lift up, press into your right foot, and pick up the left foot like you're marching slowly. Lower the hips down and switch sides. So press into your left foot. Separate the toes first. Lift up. Lift the right knee and lower down. It's a slow little march. Inhale, lifting left leg as you come up. Exhale, coming down. Try to engage to the floor with the foot that you're anchoring. So left side first and then lift up, floating the right foot with you. We're going to hang out when we come up with this left leg lifted, knee bent. Hold it here. I want you to now, again, move it out to the side, back to center, and lower down. Let's do it the same side. Lift up, open out, in, and back down. Be very, very mindful here that you're not allowing your pelvis to move with you. It's steady. You can even place your hands on the side here to brace yourself, making sure you're only moving from this hip joint. Okay, 2 more. Lift, stabilize, out, in, and down. 1 more. Up, out, in, and down. And switching sides. So left foot on the floor. Engage, separate toes, press through heel. Starting to lift up, hold. Right knee goes out, in, and down. So once again, if you feel like you want to just place your hands kind of like a little toy soldier here, and you push up and then just let your hands land on your hips right there to help you stabilize or just to remind you to stabilize. Lift up, open, close, back down. We'll take about 3 more. So lift, open, close, and down, 2. Inhale, out, in, and down. And last 1. Open, in, and down. All All right, very good. Stretch it out. Full body stretch. Take that ball again. We're just going to place it right over the chest. Scoop both knees into the chest. So from here, I just want you to lift up, reach over the legs towards your feet, lower down, reach the ball overhead, keeping your rib cage pulled in. Go ahead and send your feet out at whatever level feels appropriate. So it might be more straight to the sky, and we're going to come back into that little tuck and lift. Or you can start to go lower, out, bring it in. Inhale, it can go as low as you can go comfortably, making sure that you're maintaining that solid core. Inhale, reach. You can rest your head down the whole time, or just lift it on that exhale when you come to center. You can also keep the shoulders lifted and work in that hollow hold. Exhale. Maybe 4 more wherever you are, whatever level you've chosen here. 3. 2. Remember to pull the belly in. Try not to be pushing against it. And rest. Very nice. Take the ball between the inner thighs. And arms out to the side. Reclining twist. Drawing ribs down, still here. Rotating from one side to the other. Just hovering, keeping your shoulders pulled back. Go ahead and float your feet a bit, so we're not just letting the feet drop. That's going to pull your knees away as well. I want you to scoop your knees a little bit towards your chest. Doesn't have to be real deep. Do try to squeeze the inner thighs. I want you to go 4 more each side. Okay. Rotate, exhale back to center. Inhale over. Good job. Focus on the breath, maintaining control. Okay, 4 more. Relax the shoulders away from ears. And 3, 2, and last 1. Okay. Then we're going to rock it all the way over to one side. And just gently press yourself up as you come up to seated. All right, so from here, I'm going to take a blanket. Okay, just a little blanket here. I'm going to place the blanket. Now, you may not need this. I just like a little extra cushion under the hips. So I'm going to unfold it a bit. I don't want it to be too bulky. Just to give me a little bit more padding under the hips is all I'm asking for here. Okay, because we're going to be lying face down. All right, so even when we're face down, I want you to still draw your rib cage up so that you're not just dropping down into your back. All right, so there's still support here. Your pubic bone, tip of your pubic bone, same thing. It's pushing toward the mat, and that's going to help levelize those hips as you pull the ribs up and relax your shoulders down. So your forehead can rest on your head or on your hands, stacking your hands, or they could go out to the sides even. Okay, maybe a folded up towel underneath it would work as well. The important thing here is that I want you to keep your shoulders very, very soft. Okay, so I don't want you to tense up in that upper body. It will probably happen at some point, but I want you to go back in there and try to correct that. All right, so we're going to engage front body, pubic bone down, rib cage pulled in so that you feel a lightness in the front of your body. Okay, now with that action, I want you to bend your knees. Go ahead and bring your toes together. See if you can just lift your feet to the sky. It's not going to be big. Bring it down and then release. Okay. So again, inhale, exhale. Bring it down. Relax your shoulders. I need you to take your time here. All right, really focus. It is very challenging. Nobody's saying it should be easy. You're going to work at it and you're going to get stronger. Okay. Exhale. Bend the knees, push those hips down a bit, drop that tailbone a little, and lift. Bring it down. I want you to do 4 more with me. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, check in with front body. Exhale. Bring it down. 3. Inhale. Exhale. Good job. 2. Last one. And rest. All right, just shake out the feet. Bring hands underneath the shoulders. Start to lift yourself up. And then slowly make your way back into a big wide knee child's pose. Pressing back, stretching. All right, we're coming back up into a table position. So you can continue to support your knees with a little padding that you might have had here. Right, fingers are spread wide. Go ahead and make sure that your hands are in a position that feel good for you, right? So there's no perfect positioning here, but do spread the fingers out wide, and then you might rotate the hands out a little bit. Maybe they rotate in a little bit. It really depends on your body, on how it feels. But wherever you are, I want you to look at your elbow creases and make sure that your elbow creases are not pointing forward, right? So this is my elbow crease, the eye of the elbow, it's rotating forward. So I'm hyperextending, locking out those elbows. I need to soften them up and then engage the muscles in the arms and shoulders. Okay, so that's where I want you to go there. So as you drop down with your right elbow, we're going to take the left leg out to the side just a little bit. Keep the knee bent to start. Left hand is still on the floor. Okay, we'll turn here. Right. Again, I'm going to try not to lean all the way into that right side. Anchoring into the left hand. And lifting the left knee out to the side and then back down. Kind of like a little fire hydrant lift. Lift and bring it down. Still pulling rib cage up and in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. I'm just trying to lift it up about level with the hip itself if I can. Okay, so that's our first intention. Head stays lifted. We're never looking down at the floor toward our knee or back. We might look down at our hands. That's about as far as we're going to look down. So your head stays lifted. Now, I want you to hold it up there. Hold it and give it a little kick. Bring it back in and lower it down. Bring it up. Give it a kick. Those obliques firing off, getting super strong. Okay, lift. Kick. So the obliques, those side waist muscles, we associate those with twisting and turning, but they are also stabilizers. They're the stabilizing muscle when you're doing side plank. When you pick up something that's heavy on just one side, maybe you're picking up a lawn instrument of some sort that's heavy, or maybe you're picking up groceries, maybe you're picking up a child or a grandchild, whatever it is. You're picking up something that's heavy, and on the other side, your side waist has to engage to help balance you out. And when we don't, that's when we get problems in our disc, problems in our spine. Okay, I want you to hold this one, kick it out. Now, see if you can take that straight leg down and up for 8, 7, 6. If you need to, bend the knee, it's okay. 5, so that you can get more range of motion. 3. All right, skipped one. Now 3, 2, 1, and bring that leg back. I want you to slide it all the way behind the right knee and then just slide yourself back, folding forward. All right, very nice. We're coming back up and we're going to do that on the other side. I'll flip. All right, so finding your space here again. I want you to drop down on your left elbow, Push up on your right side. You will be uneven, right? Because we're on one elbow, one hand. So that right shoulder is going to be lifted up higher than the left shoulder. We're going to send that right knee out to the side. Just a little fire hydrant lift. I want you to try to keep it in line with the opposite leg. So lift up, lift your head. Don't look down at your knees. Okay, so try to lift up. If you need a block under your right hand, if that helps you get up a little higher or maybe up to your fingertips, you can rotate open a bit. Inhale, exhale down. Keep pulling rib cage up so that you're not dumping in through the front body. Okay, inhale. Just resting on that left elbow, but make sure that you're not leaning too far into the left side. Okay, good. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. All right, good job. We're going to take it again into that kick. So hold it, kick it out, in, and down. Okay, lift it up, out, in, and down. Inhale, exhale. Know that your side waist is going to have to fire off to help you hold that up there. So think about where you're working, and this will help you engage better. Okay, kick. You can make a fist with your right hand if holding yourself on your hand is uncomfortable. Make sure the elbow doesn't lock out. Oh, that stationary leg is burning. It should be. It's okay. All right, I want you to take it out. Now, staying here with a bent knee or a straight leg, we're lowering down and up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and swing it all the way back and cross it behind the left leg and then slide back into a stretch. Go ahead and start to walk yourself back up, coming into seated. Find that seated position. And I want you to just hang out there for a second. So you can do your little zigzag, just kind of a very gentle stacking of your knees, separated slightly, or you can bring it out into a bigger Z-sit, depending on how it feels for you. I want you to come forward first, wherever you are. If it bothers your knees, straighten that leg out. Okay, you can even just come here. And as you come forward, just stretching down that left side. Okay. So if you're still mirroring me, so I've got left leg in front, right leg in back. And then come back up. Let's lift up and reach over. Big, long stretch over. And then bring it back up, over to the other side. Give it a twist. All the way up, inhale. Really working to separate through the ribs, getting long on the side waist. Inhale. Exhale, reach, and then come back up, all the way over. Bring the left side up and rotate toward the left. This time twisting. I want you to twist to the other side. And then we'll swing the legs around. So finding whichever variation feels better for you, your hips and your knees. Okay, lift up, reach over. So if you've got your right leg in front, you're reaching right side to left side. And then bring it down, over, and give it that little twist as you reach, like there's something just out of your reach that you can barely touch, but then come back up. Inhale, coming all the way through. Exhale, reach it out long. Back up. Exhale. Maybe one more here. Reach and twist. And we come up. Good. Go ahead and bring it around into a seated twist, but try to drop the hip back down. So we're trying to keep both the hips pretty level. They're going to be uneven, but I'm trying not to lift up and arc in that back too much. So So then twisting to the other side. Back to center. Go ahead and bring that back leg around, just finding a way that you can find easy seated pose or cross-leg position. Inhale, sweeping both arms up. Let's take a moment here and just bring those hands back. You can either stack them one on top of the other or interlace as you lift up through the chest. Try to drop your tail a little bit. Do lift the chest, the sternum here, but try to bring the ribs back down a bit. Okay. So you're really engaging in the upper back, not just overhinging in the back. Okay. Now bring the arms forward and up, and bring it right down to your Pilates Rockstar Center, and know that you are awesome and you showed up today to do something good for you. Awesome work.